day, I get blamed for how severely he screwed my life up. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't drink anything without feeling pain, true pain. And I get blamed for feeling this way. And it is just ridiculous how someone can hurt you so much, and just expect you to move on from it and not care and just move on like as if nothing happened. And I will never wish this pain on anyone.
Course, men, 70 to 80% of the time, I would argue in relationships, it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes, you know, he doesn't get youth anymore. So he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid. So he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her. And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kid. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it?
But
like
you know,
men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for.
I genuinely do not even know how to begin talking about everything. I found out about the cheating after a really bad argument that we had. And in this argument, the things that he was saying didn't really correlate with the life that we were living. The year previous to me finding out about the cheating, we were trying to start a family. And we were very happy. We were accomplishing things that we never imagined of accomplishing. So we were living a very happy life. So I don't really know where it switched to being unhappy. The argument consisted of a lot of manipulation into making me believe that me asking for the bare minimum was unheard of and disgusting and something that I should have been ashamed of. I was so ashamed that I ended up writing him a 2-page letter, begging him for forgiveness. I read him this letter. He forgave me. And he just fell asleep so soundly that I knew that there was more to it. And I decided to go through his phone. When going through his phone, I found out everything. It was right in front of me and I saw my world crumbling in front of me. It was messages between him and women. It was messages between him and his friends with screenshots of the conversations of him and women. It was voice recordings. It was Google translation because he didn't know how to say it in English. So he was translating it into English so that it could make sense when he was flirting in English. And my whole life just flashed before my eyes. It was the most traumatic thing that I could have ever experienced. And when we chose to try to make it work, I thought we were both going to work. And it wasn't. I was spending my nights praying over him and begging God and pleading with God to repair my marriage, while he was continuously lying to me and still making a fool out of me in every way possible. He was not giving me any reasons to trust him. It was just not being reciprocated, and I was fighting alone. It all hit a climax when I found out more lies and more things that he was being untruthful about and unfaithful. And he looked at me in the eyes and he told me, I do not know how to respect you. I picked up my things, I left. And the hardest part, I thought at the time, was living with him, trying to repair my marriage while he just discarded me like trash. But in reality, it was restarting my life and from scratch. And it was very hard. And I made these videos not to post or for clout. I made them because I needed to heal. I needed to have something to hold on to and grasp and tell myself, you're going to be okay and you're going to look at these and you're going to be fine. And that's exactly what this is. And it ends up that I'm not alone. And there have been many other women who, or men too, that are coming out and saying like, this has happened to me as well and worse. It's shit. It's a shit process. It hurts. It's painful, but you grow and you get better. And while someone can destroy a part of your life, you're actually just starting a brand new book and a brand new chapter that has endless opportunities. So it's shit, but it gives you hope.
I will never understand what I did to this.
You'd win.
What I did to deserve like this much disrespect and this much hurt. If my own husband can't love me, he can't respect me, I It's just like, I feel like I'm mourning. I'm not only mourning him, I'm like mourning the person that he was, but I'm mourning the family that we built, and I'm mourning the children that I thought I was gonna have, and I'm mourning the mom I found with.
It definitely does get better, but we have to remember that healing is sporadic. With me, I had days that I didn't even remember a time that I was sad. I was loving my life and living my life literally to the fullest. And then something triggering would happen and I would get sad. And immediately I was right down here as if the wound was like still super, super fresh and unhealed. The people that cheat, they don't understand the toll that it takes on a person. It is a pain like no other. I was so hurt when it happened that at first I was not eating, I was not sleeping. I lost a total of 40 pounds throughout my process. And it wasn't like I lost it in a healthy way. I just lost it because I was so depressed. But I started to track my victories. I started to track the things that I was doing better at. I started to track when I ate, even if I ate a little bit and just a bite, just something that I could tell myself like, see, like this is a step forward in the right direction. Now I'm happier than I was yesterday. I'm less sad than I was yesterday. It will always be painful because he took a part of me. He took a part of me that I will never get back. And it's unfortunate that you lose a part of yourself, but you also gain a part of yourself that you've never had before. And the most rewarding thing is that knowing that this part of me, he'll never have. And that is just on its own the biggest victory that I could have. But it's a learning process and it gets better. With me, I really felt God carry me through this entire process. I was in such a bad depression. Like the pain was larger than life itself for me. If it wasn't for God and if it wasn't for my family, I don't think that I would be where I am.
Hi guys, like I'm so sad right now because I just came to like a realization these past few days have been so hard for me. Cause like, you know how men say that women have toxic feminism? And like you'll get to a certain age and like no one will want to marry you and no one will love you. Like I feel like I've gotten to that point, guys. Like I was so hung on to this feminism thing and I missed out on marriage and on children. And now like I'm at a point in my life where like I'm so bitter. I'm so jealous of people who have marriages because they are so happy and their husbands don't even cheat on them. And like men are just the best, you know, like right now is when I'm realizing like I can't do without them. And right now I'm like, I don't care like if you are rich or poor, tall, dark, handsome, ugly, me, I don't care by the way. As long as you're a man and you're breathing, like that's the only qualification I need because I'm just so desperate for a husband. Like there's a lot of pressure around me, so if you can deal me and propose, I swear I'll behave and I'll marry you immediately. I'll wash your clothes, I'll cook for you, I'll have your children and I'll be obedient.
However, modern feminism has turned into an extreme version of feminism to where it is borderline female supremacy, where it's anti-male, anti-family. A lot of extreme ideas have been flushed into the mainstream and a lot of women are so confused and so frustrated. They did not realize that they had subscribed to a lot of these myths, and so they inherited feminism from their mothers and grandmothers, and so they're frustrated